Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Mountain Deer, day 2, Maine rifle. I'm with the Rodney.
Had about a couple, almost 3 inches of fluff snow from like midnight to right now.
Another dusting.
And it's so big and heavy, and like unless it's like 4 or 5 hours old or fresher, there's not much, and you ain't gonna find much from the road today.
Nope.
And there's actually snow down in lower elevations, and that's where we want to be when we have the opportunity, because there's usually more deer down in here. So we're gonna look around before it warms up. Weather's supposed to warm up, so we just go kick around, see what we can come up with. Good luck to everybody. Thanks for watching again. We're pretty much just gonna go for a good long walk and see what kind of any buck sign, if we can come up with that, and see what happens here. This is kind of just a wing it kind of day. Unless we come onto something that's moving, we ain't gonna be able to do much. So we're just gonna have to put some boots on the ground and just do some looking around today and see what happens. Used to hunt here quite a bit. There was a couple 3 bucks that were kicking around in here last year. So today I'm not flapping in the breeze.
I know, look at that. You made your own
vest because I got sick of that thing blowing in the breeze and me looking like some kind of...
Dude, you look like a pirate ship.
Everything was out there flapping in the breeze yesterday, and it was just stupid.
Insert clip here.
So it's like, we gotta fix that. So last night I did some sewing and some gluing.
Looks good.
We'll see what happens.
There you go, that'll work. Let's see if we can kick up today.
We got some deer tracks.
Snowed in.
They're all snowed in, and at least it's a deer. And it's kind of still going cross country and walking kind of straight, and it's a little guy. If it's a buck, it's a small one. And either way, the deer's got a nose and we don't. And if it does happen to be a little buck, he might lead us to something. So. And it's going the way we kind of want to go. If I have to walk anywhere, I'd just sooner walk on top of tracks. You know, to see something. Maybe like we'll bump into something big here. I'm not impressed with that.
Sometimes
It's got a little
small tracks lead you to big tracks. There's a little bit of a drag to it, and
we'll go see.
Yeah, we can go meet him.
If all of a sudden he comes to a big one or a whole other group of deer, it'll be great. It'll lead us to something.
Yeah.
We need something.
On a day like this, you gotta be on tracks. Having a snack.
Yeah, it's just been taking a little nip here, a little nip there, go 10, 15 steps, and then doubles together, taking a couple of
Yellow birch buds and raspberry bushes and little baby cedars too. They'll be on the ground, they'll clip them.
Any of the green leaves, like the raspberries, see it broke that up. You know, anything green, they will just pick it. This is a telltale sign a buck wants to, or a deer wants to lay down. It came up through the brush, and this is a little bit of a roof right here, this green roof. And it walked out around it, and then came back. And like it got here, and it's too soft and mushy, and it didn't like it, right? So it peeled out of here, and it's kind of even going over that way. And then there's some more spruces and stuff out here. And you can tell this deer's done almost a complete J, like a hook shape. And it's now hooking a little downwind. It went crosswind and then downwind just a little bit. And we may have already busted it out, or maybe it's up the hill here just a little bit. But that's that classic, like it's starting to fish hook around a roof, you know, to lay down. We should find a bed in the next couple 100 yards. It's been eating and his stomach's probably full and it wants to chew his gut. Well, our deer laid down out in the open here for a little bit. Then it got up and it's swinging around. Maybe back in the direction we came, so it's a pretty big bed. I mean, it ain't bad.
You want to leave? You want to keep tracking or what? I don't care.
It's on its feet.
It's the only game in town. It's a deer we can definitely catch. So when you have only one track and it's fresh in your patch of woods, and even though it's not something that big, you know, and it doesn't get you all that excited, you might as well stay on it and track it, because if other deer come to it or it brings you to other things, you never know. Other opportunities might show themselves. And it doesn't hurt for practice. Break some of the rust off. Is that right? Tune-up game. That's right. Something easy. Confirmation is always nice. It's a buck. I knew it was a buck. You can tell by the track. I didn't think it was a doe. Brand new. Good deal. Thrash that baby. That means that we just gained some time on this deer.
You want me to film?
Why, you want me to shoot a small one?
I'm just saying. I don't want to deny you if it turns out it's got a decent little rack on it. Decisions.
I'm not super ramped about the track, but I'd like to get it on film. I'd like to get a buck on film. It's not a bad track. It's probably a decent deer.
I mean, it's got, 3-inch spikes.
You know, you may not be excited about it right now, but as soon as the thing hops out and you see bone, it might die.
Now he's tracking us. And I'm tracking him, tracking us.
Here's corns. I'm waiting.
Yeah.
What are you supposed to do about that?
Yeah, like we were gonna do a lot with that. Like you're gonna do anything with rabbit jail.
Yeah. Coming down the trail right here in this barely an open section, all of this. And he was in here eating around the corner, and he had gone down and came back up and then went in, and we hadn't gotten to that spot yet. And we just heard him crashing through the brush, and there was nothing we could do. You couldn't even see it.
25 yards.
Oh yeah, we were really close though, but we were grunting and coming along nice and easy, so maybe he'll just hop up out of here and go someplace and stop and wait to see if we can get a look at us. Yeah, if we can get him in the open, we have a chance at seeing him anyway.
Well, that was a good little tune-up game.
As is the case with hunting. You're constantly faced with making decisions. And the decision right now is, do we want to pound through slash raspberry bushes, thick, small evergreens covered in snow in the cold, to track down a 2.5-year-old buck when we know what else is in these woods?
I mean, he was right there someplace. And grand total.
And worth a look.
Yeah, and in grand total, it was probably a 500-yard circle.
Mm-hmm.
So he hadn't gone anywhere. He rubbed his horns twice. He laid down. He was on the skid trails all the time, right out in the open. It was looking like we could just come around the corner and spot him in the skid trail ahead of us, you know, one of those type of things.
Mm-hmm.
Then he circles around and comes right onto our tracks and walks up our tracks for 200 yards. And he says, "There's people in here."
That's a crime.
Yeah, and then he turns. Yeah, normally you shoot them when they're on your back track. You just turn around every now and then, so they might be behind you. And of course, he jumps off our track and goes into this tight rabbit jail. And then when we bust him out at 25, 30 feet, right,
He didn't like that.
he comes smashing and crashing out of there, and he ran a couple 300 yards, and he's now kangarooing up through the woods and headed out, and that's a good place for him. You know, someday he'll be a nice buck. And, and truth is, that's not really what we're looking for. So
Yep.
it was kind of fun.
Yep, dogged him for a bit.
Altogether, what was that? 2 hours?
I don't know, maybe, yeah.
Yeah, about 2 hours on the whole quarter-mile little, you know, circle.
Well,
The welcome Jeep.
we made it back to the rig. So we just barely saw, what, a doe or a fawn?
Yeah,
Small doe.
doe.
Small doe. Jumped the buck that we were tracking. Not a lot of moose sign.
None.
A couple old tracks and old rubs, and no birds. Hardly any rodents of any kind.
Set of Fisher tracks.
A set of Fisher tracks, that's true. And if you made an assumption based on what we're seeing, we'd say there's nothing in here. But that's not the case. It's just nothing's moving right now. Appearances can be deceiving in the first few days of deer season, can't they?
We had seen it before.
We've seen it before. Last year we were like, man, there's nothing around, and all of a sudden everything just came out of nowhere. We're maybe gonna go find a different kinds of patch of woods or a different kind of woods. Let's
Ain't
go
found
see.
Nothing real interesting yet.
Maybe we'll drive around, find
Maybe
something
what?
interesting. See what the woods has to offer. You know, we were just talking about Dad's vest, because this has been a big update for him.
I hate flapping in the breeze. That's just not cool. It ain't happening.
Most people, when it comes to wearing hunter orange, they wear it. You know, it's required, it's the law, right? Although there are some of us that do it as a fashion statement.
Because you want to.
I don't do it because I have to. I do it because I want to. Aim bright out. Anyway.